Before we begin our yin practice, you can opt to grab some props. In this class, we'll use one bolster, one blanket, and 2 blocks. We'll begin in a comfortable kneeling position. Bring your knees together. You can fold a blanket and support underneath your shins, and allow your toes to point back, heels on either side of your hips. Slide your bolster in between your thighs and take a seat on top. Hands on top of your thighs. Take a deep breath in and begin to lengthen your spine up tall towards the sky. Long, slow exhale out. Maintain the length of your spine, but feel a softness permeate throughout your whole body. For our yin practice, we'll be holding each pose for at least 3 minutes. You will need to completely relax your body, so making sure as soon as you move into your shape that it is comfortable and sustainable for your body. As we sit here, we open ourselves into our space and bring our attention to our breath. Gently feel the rise and the fall of your belly and your chest as you sit here and breathe. Relax your jaw, your facial features, so they relax toward your shoulders. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears, down toward your hips. Feel your spine stack completely above your tailbone. Here you are grounding down into this comfortable seat. Hips and legs are heavy and supported by the props. Yet your spine, neck, and head all lengthen up tall towards the ceiling. This is an opportunity to give your brain a break from the everyday chatter, noise, and busyness. Feel your mind relax as your body sinks down into the support. Your attention is on your breath, noticing where the breath starts and where the breath ends in your body. From here, take a deep breath in through your nose, and as you exhale, drop your chin down towards your chest, and we'll move into our first neck opening shape. Even though your chin is dropping toward your chest, continue to feel the back of your neck, the base of your neck, all rise up towards the sky. Spine is lengthening, but the neck and the head are relaxing down towards the chest. There's no need to hold on to the shape. Simply let your chin drop. Take a long, slow, deep breath into the back of your neck. And a long, slow exhale out. Feel your face grow heavy as it draws down towards the ground. Release the space in between your eyes and feel your belly rise up and down as you breathe. Shoulders are drawing back and away, so there's a slight pinching of the shoulder blades together so we can keep our chest wide and expansive. From here, keeping your chin low, let's take one more long, slow, deep breath into the back of the neck and a gentle, relaxing exhale out. You can bring your fingertips to your temples, and as you inhale, guide your head back onto your shoulders. Take a deep breath in, and exhale, lower your chin back down to your chest where it came from. Next, inhale breath, roll your right ear over your right shoulder. Let your ear hover right above the shoulder and keep your face forward. Imagine there is a small weight inside your right ear, and it's guiding your ear a little bit further down. Left shoulder is relaxing away from the side of your neck, and you feel the length of your arm and your fingers reach down to your side. You can play with the angle of your chin by simply lifting it up maybe 1 millimeter towards the upper right corner of the room, or maybe gently allowing the chin to drop down a little bit towards the lower left shoulder. Play with the angle of your head, but maintain the hovering of the right ear over the right shoulder. Find a space that feels good to you, and here we'll hold. Breathe into the left side of your neck, and as you exhale, surrender the right side of your head down towards the shoulder. Continue to let your left shoulder drop down and away from the left side of your neck and your head. From here, take a deep breath in and a long, slow exhale out. Bring your right fingertips to your right temple. And inhale, let's slowly guide our head back onto our shoulders. Take a deep breath in, and exhale, roll your chin back down to your chest. Next, inhale breath, roll your left ear over your left shoulder, and we now take the opposite side. Allow the heaviness of your left ear to draw down towards the top of your shoulder, completely relaxing your neck. Maintain your ear parallel to your shoulder, and your closed-eyed gaze remains facing forward. Play with a subtle adjustment of your chin by maybe gently lifting it up towards the upper left corner of the room, or maybe slightly down towards the lower right. Find a space where you don't feel like you need to hold on to your neck, but let gravity guide the left side of your head down toward your shoulder. You can extend your right arm out and away and feel the heaviness of your right shoulder create space through the right side of your neck as your arm extends down and your shoulder drops away from your ear. Take a deep breath into the right side of your neck, and as you exhale, create even more release through your shoulders and that left ear. We'll take one more deep breath in and a long, slow exhale out. Bring your left fingertips to your left temple and inhale, guide your head back onto your shoulders. With your shoulders dropping away from your ears, we'll take one deep breath in and a long, slow exhale out. We'll now move into our last neck opening stretch. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, rotate your chin over your right shoulder. You can bring your right hand to the left side of your face, and with each exhaling breath, maybe just encourage your chin to go a little bit further to the right. Let your shoulders relax and notice the space through the left side of your neck as your shoulder draws away from your ear, your chin, and as your chin guides over to the right a little bit more, can you release and breathe into your belly? You can keep your right hand on the left side of your cheek for comfort, or when you're ready, you can release it back down onto your lap. Without having to pull your head to the right, just remain with this closed-eyed gaze over the right shoulder, as if your neck and your head have been frozen in space. Continue to take long, slow, deep breaths. From here, gently release your hand if it's on your cheek, and inhale, slowly rotate your head back through center. Take a moment here with the head through center, and when you're ready, take a full deep breath in, and as you exhale, rotate your chin over to the left. You can bring your left hand to the right side of your face, and with each exhale, encourage your chin to go a little bit further back behind. You can opt to keep your hand on your face for comfort, or maybe just release your hand back down to your lap. Feel the opening now through the right side of your neck. As you let your shoulder drop away from your ear, and the gentle twisting of your neck over to the left. Continue to breathe into your belly and release any gripping you might have through your jaw, your neck, or your shoulders. Simply maintain a closed-eyed gaze over the left shoulder. Now, when you're ready, if your hand is still on your cheek, gently release. Inhale, rotate your head back through center. Take a long, slow exhale out and pause here with the neck and the head in closed-eyed gaze facing forward. Breathe in and breathe out. Our next shape, we will need 2 blocks, 1 bolster, and a blanket. Bring your first block to the top of your mat, tallest height. Second block, turn it to the middle height or horizontal and place it in front of the first block. Drape your bolster over the 2 blocks so you're making a reclined chair. Make sure both blocks are evenly onto the ground and the base of the bolster is touching your mat. Scoot your hips right to the base of the bolster and slowly roll your spine all the way down. Lastly, you can bring a rolled blanket underneath your head for support, so the top of the blanket is touching the tops of your shoulders. Our next shape, you can extend both legs towards either corners of your mat. Bend your right knee and place the bottom of your foot to the inside of your left thigh, as if you're coming into tree pose, but the left leg will be slightly extended wider. Arms will drop to either side of the bolster, palms facing up, arms are relaxed. You can either keep your head through center, or if it's comfortable on your neck, lift your head up and rotate a closed-eyed gaze over to the left. Now that you're in the shape, release completely into the support underneath. Feel your spine drop into the bolster and your shoulders drop either side down towards the floor. Your chest is open and expansive. Your palms are facing up. And that right knee is drawing down towards the ground, creating an opening through the right hip. Take advantage of this shape by fully breathing into your belly and into your chest. As you exhale, feel even more of a drop of your shoulders on either side of the bolster, and maybe that left ear, if your head is turned, dropping down toward your blanket. Release all effort. Release any gripping in your body and surrender into the props. 2 come out. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, gently lift your head up and rotate it back through center if your head was turned. You can use your right hand to slide it underneath your right thigh to help guide the knee back up and extend your leg out towards the right corner of your mat. We'll move into the second side. Slowly bend your left knee so the bottom of your left foot is inside your right thigh. Keep your right foot a little bit wide so it's pointing to the outer edge of the right side of your mat. Arms are out wide and palms are facing up towards the ceiling. Completely relax your shoulders. If you'd like to turn your head, gently lift it up and rotate your right ear down towards the blanket. Make sure your neck feels centered and you can completely relax this area. Otherwise, you can keep your closed-eyed gaze straight ahead up towards the sky, keeping your neck neutral. Here we equal out our right and our left side. Now allowing the left knee to open out and down towards the ground. Continue to let your shoulders melt away from your jaw and drip down either side of your support. Take a full, deep, expansive breath into your belly, lower ribs, and chest. And as you exhale, completely let the weight of your body drop down into the support underneath. Relax your jaw even more. Relax your fingers and your toes. Notice how nice it feels to be supported as you surrender into the shape. From here, take a deep breath in and a long, slow exhale out. If your head is turned, inhale and slowly lift your head back through center. You can slide your left hand under your left thigh and guide your knee back up to the sky and re-extend your leg towards the left corner of your mat. Let's slowly move into our next shape. You can bring your hands next to your hips and slowly lift yourself off your bolster and deconstruct your chair. For our next shape, we will only need one blanket and one bolster. Let's bring the blanket underneath our sit bones and take a seat to the center of our mat. Extend your legs out wide off your mat. Take a deep breath in, lengthen up. And as you exhale, begin to hinge forward. We'll move into dragonfly pose or straddle, and the bolster can support your forehead and your arms. Depending on how your hips are feeling during this practice, maybe you opt to bring the bolster vertical and let the bolster meet your forehead. This way, your spine can stay a little bit taller and you still have the support. Otherwise, if your hips allow, you can take that forward fold and use support of the bolster on the ground, or maybe you don't need the bolster at all. The legs are completely relaxed. Allow your toes to turn whichever way they like. Release all gripping in your legs, your knees, your ankles, and your toes. You can allow your spine to round rather than try to maintain a rigid and straight back. Let your head soften down towards the ground. And with the spine, legs, neck, head, and arms completely relaxed, just focus on each exhale breath to guide your belly, your heart, and your head a little bit further down towards the floor. There is no pressing down, but simply giving in to gravity through our torso. As you keep your head low, send your inhale breath into the back of your ribs. As you exhale, bring a little bit more heaviness into your heart, melting it down towards the floor. Relax your hips, relax your legs, relax your toes. Continue the long, slow, continuous breath. We'll take one more cycle of breath in Dragonfly. Deep breath into the back of your ribs. And a heavy, long, slow exhale out. When you're ready to move on, gently press into your fingers or your arms and roll yourself back up into a tall spine. Take a moment here, and when you're ready to move on to our next shape, take your props off the side of your mat. We'll now move into Sleeping Swan. Bring yourself into tabletop position. Send your right knee to your right wrist. Angle your right toes back behind and slowly release your hips down towards the ground, extending your left leg back. Maybe your left hip is on top of your right foot. If you would like a deeper sensation, send the front of your shin a little bit more parallel to the top of your mat. If you need extra support under your right hip, you can opt for your blanket, your block, or your bolster, depending on how the shape feels. Maintain a level pelvis so you're not dropping into that right hip. Take a deep breath in to lengthen up. And as you exhale, release your belly down onto the front of your thigh towards the floor. You can either stay on your hands, come down to your forearms, or maybe come all the way down to your forehead. You will feel the stretch through the outside of your right hip and maybe in front of the left hip as well. As we move into our hips, each exhale breath, we let go a little bit more of that tension or holding on. See if you can welcome this nice deep stretch through your right hip. Do not resist, but rather surrender. With the spine low, continue to breathe into the back of your ribs and your shoulders. And as you exhale, let your heart melt a little bit further down towards the ground. Gently take a deep breath into the back of your body and a long, slow exhale out. When you're ready, inhale, begin to slowly rise back up through a tall spine. And exhale, plant your hands down to the floor. You can tuck your back toes underneath, lift your knee, and either step back into a tabletop stance or a low lunge. If you would like a counter stretch, you can extend your right leg up back behind and take a 3-legged dog. Or just stay in tabletop and take a bend and a straighten through that right leg. When you're ready, we'll move into the left side. From tabletop, send your left knee to your left wrist and angle your shin and your toes back towards your right hip. Extend your right leg back behind so the top of the foot is on your mat. To go deeper into the stretch, you can bring your left shin more parallel to the top of your mat. Extend your right leg back behind so the top of your foot is on the floor. To go deeper into the stretch, you can bring your left shin more parallel to the top of your mat. To come out of the stretch a little bit, simply bring your left foot underneath that right hip, so there is a deeper angle of your shin and knee. Walk your hands up to your hips and take a long, slow, deep breath in. As you exhale, begin to walk your hands forward, releasing your heart and torso down. You can take support underneath that left hip with a blanket, block, or bolster. You may stay on your hands, your forearms, or maybe you come all the way down to your forehead. Even though we have already taken Sleeping Swan on the right side, let's wipe the slate clean as we move into this left side. Notice the sensations in the outside of your left hip and through the front of your right hip. Give yourself permission to completely sink and surrender into the left hip, but without dropping it down towards the ground. Maintain an even pelvis. Just like difficult situations that we might have with other people, things, or even ourselves, our tendency might be to tense up and back away. But instead, we can use this shape to release a little bit more. Move into the areas where you feel some tension, resistance, and breathe into that space. Rather than push away, can you go a little bit deeper right to that sensation? Soften your body and give your body love and gentle comfort. Keep your breath slow, and if you notice if your breath wants to quicken, simply bring it back to a long and continuous breath. Breathing into the belly, the back of the ribs. Breathing out, let your belly soften. And continue a gentle breathing pattern as you relax even more through that left hip. From here, we'll gently transition out. Take a long, slow, deep breath in, and taking your time, begin to exhale and lift yourself back up to that tall spine. You can tuck your back toes underneath, lift your knee, maybe step back into a downward facing dog, tabletop, maybe a three-legged dog with that left leg extending, or any shape that feels good to you to counter stretch. From here, when you're ready, we'll move into a heart-opening stretch. This next shape, we will need 2 blocks. The block underneath the chest will be horizontal and the middle height. Place the base of the block to the base of your shoulder blades. Your shoulders, your arms, and neck are unsupported. The block that's underneath your chest gives a lift of your heart. The second block, you can opt for the tallest height, the back of your mat. The back of your head will be supported by this block. Once you move into this shape, if it doesn't feel comfortable, you can rotate that top block down to the middle height. There should be no tension in your neck. Your neck is simply relaxed and free from any support. Let your shoulders drop down and away towards the floor. And focus on the expansion of your chest and your heart as you breathe. Legs extend towards either corners of your mat, and toes gently angle out and down. Give yourself permission to completely relax and surrender into this heart-opening shape. And although it might feel a little vulnerable to have your chest wide open to the world, know that you are completely safe and supported. We want to create space through the chest and reverse what chronic sitting, driving, even standing might do to our shoulders and our spine. Keep your attention to your breath and maybe count for each inhale and exhale so you have an even pace. For example, inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can go shorter or longer with your count. Let yourself relax. We'll take one more long, slow, deep breath in. Let your ribs expand as wide as they can. And as you exhale, soften your shoulders one last time. To come out of the pose, you can extend your right arm out to the side and slowly bend your knees, rolling yourself off the 2 blocks and catching your head with your right hand as you move into fetal position. Press into your top hand and slowly rise on up. Take your blocks off your mat and grab your blanket. From a seated position, roll yourself onto your back. Once you're on your back, press into your feet, lift your hips up and take a scooch over to the left so you're more so on your right hip. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, drop your knees down to the right. You can use a rolled blanket to go in between your thighs, your calves, and your feet for more support. Let the left side of your shoulder, your arm, and your ribs roll down towards the mat as your knees drop to the right. If your left shoulder is coming off the ground, see if you can send your knees a little bit more away from the ground so we can first and foremost keep the shoulders and that left arm on the ground supported. Take a deep breath into your belly and a long, slow exhale out. You can opt to gently rotate your head over to the left by lifting it up and turning your left ear down towards the ground. Otherwise, you can keep your head through a neutral shape, closed-eyed gaze up to the sky. Now that we're in our supine twist, feel the gentle wringing out of your belly and your lower back. Left side of your body dropping down towards the floor, knees dropping down to the right. Do not cheat yourself of a more shallow breath simply because you are in a twist, but rather breathe deeper into your belly and maybe feel that slight resistance. And as you exhale, soften your ribs even more down towards the ground. Let your spine relax and continue breathing gently. We'll take one more cycle of breath in through your nose and exhale out through your mouth. If your head is turned, slowly rotate your head back through center. Next, inhale breath, lift your knees up to the sky, release the blanket, plant your feet to the floor, and scoot your hips back through center. Press down through your feet, lift your hips up, and take a scooch over to the right. Arms are out wide to a T. Take a deep breath in, pick up your feet, and exhale, drop your knees down to the left. You can opt to keep the rolled blanket in between your thighs, your knees, calves, and feet. Feel the right side of your shoulder and your ribs draw down towards the ground. If there is any tucking sensation of that left shoulder, simply press into the back of your head, lift your heart up, and pull your shoulder blade out from underneath and relax your arm back down. If you turned your head on the first side, you can lift your head up and rotate your right ear down towards the floor. Feel how nice it is to equal out the twist on the second side. Your belly is soft, and you're breathing slowly in and out through your nose. Take your time, there is no rush. Each exhale breath, you feel the gentle release of your lower back, your right ribs, your shoulder, and your arm heavy to the floor. Make sure that they have contact. Knees are gently dropping to the left. And you completely relax your hips, your belly, and your ribs. Continue a full deep breath in and out through your nose. And let the center of your forehead completely relax. Let's take one more long, slow, deep breath in through your nose. And exhale out through your mouth. Let the right side of your ribs soften even more. One last time. When you're ready, if your head is turned, slowly rotate your head back through center. Inhale, lift your knees back up. Drop your feet down to the ground and scoot your hips back through center. You can take your blanket off to the side. And from here, simply hug your knees into your chest and take a little rock side to side to release your lower back. Our next pose is our final pose, Shavasana. For this, you can opt to use your props, maybe placing a bolster underneath your knees to support your lower back, maybe bringing a folded blanket underneath your head for support to keep your neck in a neutral spine. Make sure that as we come into this final position, our body is stretched out long, the legs and the arms slightly away from the center of the body. And you feel a sense of freedom throughout the whole body. Take a gentle tug of your chin down toward your chest. Gently rock side to lengthen the back of your neck. Palms are facing up. And feel a heaviness wash over your body. And even though we're completely relaxed through our whole yin shapes, our final pose, we relax even more. Our body is in a neutral position, so there shouldn't be any tension or holding on. Completely relax your legs, your spine, arms, neck, and head down into the ground. Let your face soften so the corners of your eyes and the corners of your mouth drop down toward your ears. The center of your forehead is completely smoothed out. Feel the weight of your body drop down even more. Take a full, deep, expansive breath, and as you exhale, a sense of relaxation washes over your entire body. Keep your attention to your breath, and with each exhale breath, let your body move further to a place of rest. You can stay here as long as you want, or wait to be guided out of this pose. Keep your breath continuous and let yourself relax with each exhale breath. Slowly bring your attention back to your mat. Deepen your breath. In through your nose, reawaken your body. Out through your mouth, continue to feel a sense of heaviness through your limbs. Gently find some movement into your toes, your fingers. And when you're ready, let's bring the arms up and overhead to take a full body stretch. Deep breath in, reach out long. And a full exhale out, relax your body back down. When you're ready to release, bend your knees and gently roll over to your right side. Take a few moments here in fetal position, right arm under your head for support. When you're ready to complete your practice, press into your top hand and slowly rise up through a seated position. Once you're in that comfortable seat, keep your spine tall and take a long, slow, deep breath in and a gentle exhale out. Maintain this sense of relaxation and calm in your body and in your mind. When you're ready to finish, simply open your eyes. Namaste.